South Africa's president, Jacob Zuma, will not attend the funeral and memorial service of anti-apartheid activist Ahmed Kathrada, who died in Johannesburg on Tuesday. Now, he will be buried at West Park Cemetery in Johannesburg on Wednesday. His family asked President Zuma to stay away from the funeral in line with Kathrada's wishes. Last year, Kathrada called on the president to resign. And C.D. Bishop is in Johannesburg. She joins us now live from just outside where those events and ceremonies are taking place. Hi, C.D. Tell us just more about how South Africa is actually marking Kathrada's loss today.
It is a working day today. Most people would be expected to be at work, but we've seen massive amounts of people arriving at the West Park Cemetery. All dignitaries, fans of Ahmed Kathrada, even the ordinary members of the ANC, the economic freedom fighters, people from all walks of life coming to pay their last respect to Ahmed Kathrada. The reason why we're seeing so much pouring of emotion and support, he was seen as the last standing, or one of the last standing people who represent what the ANC stood for initially, which is the protection of human rights, protection of human dignity, freedom for all, non-racialism, and most importantly, a principle and non-corrupt ANC and government. He stood by those principles since until the last day, and people were hoping that in this huge political turmoil, where we see strife between the leaders of the ruling party and the members of parliament, cabinet members, he would be somehow, even if he was frail, his presence, his voice will be heeded. People would try and tap into their moral conscience and do what is right, especially President Zuma, right now, who many do not have hope and confidence on him as a president.
As you say, Tsidi, South Africa is sadly losing the leaders of the struggle, who were also some of the best role models for good governance today. Whom do young South Africans now have to look toward?
There's still some few members of the ANC that young South Africans look for. But mainly it looks like there's a shift in game. It looks like there's a shift as well in where young South Africans are focusing. We see young people like Lucy Mamani of the Democratic Alliance leading the party, Julius Malema leading, for instance, the Democratic Party is the second biggest opposition party. There's also Julius Malema, whose upcoming movement is also seen as one of the political parties of hope. People still look up to people like Dennis Goldberg, who was one of the Rivonial trialists, and some of the few people in the ANC who are no longer really playing a significant role in politics, who are not cabinet members. There are few people in cabinet that they still hope they will do the right thing. For instance, when this political turmoil is brewing between the president and the finance minister, we've seen some people in the ANC taking a position to say enough is enough. Our country is being pulled into a downward spiral. And if it's pulled into a downward spiral, who are we looking at? Who are we looking for to lead that movement? But I see young people, youngsters saying, we now need to take matters into our hands and lead South Africa into the future that we're promised by our forefathers. We're promised by people like Ahmed Kathrada. But those who are leading right now, really, people do not have much hope in them.
Okay, just have to hope Kathrada's legacy gives them some guidance. Okay, C.D. Bishop joining us there from Johannesburg. Thanks so much for that.